Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today we're back with part 3 of my 5-part epic adventure through the comic book stores of New Hampshire. Once again, my wife and I had to go on an unexpected vacation while they were working on the house. So, right after Christmas, like the day after Christmas, we were out the door. They spent the whole week working on the house, and we spent the whole week driving around all the comic book stores we could find in southern New Hampshire. We ended up going to 10 comic book stores in 6 days, and today we're back with comic book stores numbers 7 and 8 from this trip. But as you can see, they're much higher numbers. Let's put them on the map. We got 2 comic book stores on the map today. The first one of those comic book stores is Pop Culture, Cards, Comics, and Games. That's in Raymond, New Hampshire. And then just 15 to 20 minutes down Route 101 from there, it's Krypton Comics in Exeter, New Hampshire. We're going to go to both of those stores. I'm going to tell you about my experiences. They may not be your experiences, but they were mine. I'll show you the books that I got in both of those places. This might be a little bit shorter than some of my other videos because I didn't get nearly as much as I've been getting at some of the other stores for reasons that I'll get into in a minute. But let's start with Pop Culture, Cards, and Games. Raymond, New Hampshire is just a couple miles off of the highway. Easy enough to get to. And the person in there was really nice. It's a really interesting store. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get any footage inside because a bunch of people came in at the same time as me, and I didn't have any way to get the footage. But they have a big gaming room that was closed when I was there, but they had a big gaming room. They had a lot of dollar bins. They also had not wall books, but they actually had a rack in the middle of the store with books on there. And there's a couple that I almost bought, and I kind of wish maybe I should have bought them. One of the ones that I didn't buy was the Spider-Man 2099 #1. It was $10. I know right now, at the time I'm recording this, to going for, $16, $18, $20. This one had a couple big spine ticks, which is a problem because they had a heavy, like, reflective cardstock cover, so there was like a big bend in it. So I was like, in this condition, I think I'm gonna have to pass. I don't know, maybe a bad idea. They had some cool books there. They definitely had some cool books there, but I didn't end up buying very much. I did spend a while going through the dollar bins. Let me just show you the couple comics I did buy. Not a dollar bin buy. This one was $14, but it's a pretty darn nice copy of Weird War Tales #93. Again, it was $14. First appearance of the Creature Commandos. And this is a book that on eBay right now is talking $35 to $40. I already have a copy of this, so normally this is something that I would probably flip. However, in this case, I happen to know that one of you, Tartan Phantom, needed this issue, so I'm just going to send this to him at cost. And it's really nice. It has a little bit of, not exactly spine roll, but spine stacking. When the books are stacked, sometimes they get just a little bit of a bend near the spine. Not the same as when someone bends the cover around, but just from the spine stacking. I think that'll go away after time if it's handled correctly. Other than that, really nice condition. So this was a cool find. I do always look through the war books, Weird War. This is one I'm always on the lookout for. So really cool. Then I spent quite a bit of time in the dollar bins. I'm always looking for books, of course, for the dollar bin trading challenge. And so far in the first 2 videos, I didn't really find that much, unless for some reason Zombie #0 takes off in the future, in which case we're going to be doing really well because I bought 3 of those at one of the previous stores, purely on speculation that at some point in the future that might happen. But that's all I've gotten so far in the trip, so far. I did end up with one thing from this place. For $1, I got this. It's Rocket Raccoon #1. Now, it's mid-grade. It's actually pretty nice, except for this corner here. There's a non-color breaking bend through the book right here. That's pretty substantial. It almost feels like this might have gotten some water damage at one point, but you can see they have it priced at $10. It was actually $1. And right now online, these are selling for about $15 for the first issue. So there's Mike Mignola art in this, by the way, cover and interior. This is a series that I bought when it came out in 1985. So it was one of the first comics that I got when I was first getting into comics. So I do have nostalgia for it. Part of me wants to keep it, but honestly, this is probably going to go in the trading challenge trade pool at some point in the future. I'm always looking for books to add to that. So we're going to put that in the pre-kitty somewhere down the road. You might see this. I actually already have in there a Marvel Age 25, which is a preview for this, but it has a Rocket Raccoon cover, which is, I think, is his second cover appearance after Hulk 271. So I might bundle those together, but that's down the road. So I was happy to get this. Finally, I bought this for $1. Turns out I already have it. Just too bad. It's Weird Western number 70. This is the last issue of Weird Western. And I'm working on putting together a full run of Weird Western. I already have all the Jonah Hex issues. And so I'm missing about half of the Scalp Hunter issues at this point. This is actually in pretty nice shape. This was actually priced at $16, but they put it in the dollar bin, which makes more sense. I was hoping this might be worth a little bit something with the last issue. You know, hard to find last issues, but no, it's not. So what I'll probably do is just figure out whether this is an upgrade for me, which it might be because this is pretty nice. And I'll keep whichever one's nicer. The other one will just go in my big box of stuff to get rid of. So it wasn't much of a haul there. I'm happy to have gotten this for Tartan Phantom. I'm happy enough with this for a future trading challenge edition somewhere down the road. And, you know, it's $1, so even though this isn't worth anything, you know, totally fine. So that was that store, a cool little store to check out. It's only about 15 to 20 minutes away from downtown Exeter, where our next store is located. Now, Exeter is a super cool town. I want to emphasize this. If you have a chance to check out Exeter, it's just a super cute little New England town. It's got all the funky little shops. There's a river that runs right behind the center of town. It's like an old mill town, so it's got a little bit of a waterfall or whatever. It's just a really cute. There's a little gazebo in the center of town. They even have public restrooms, which a lot of places don't have. So a lot of stuff and all these funky little cool shops. There's this great place called like the Flying Saucer, where we got some cocoa. There's just a lot of neat places, and one of those places is called Jetpack Comics. So that's wrong. That is not the name of the store. Hold on a second. Krypton Comics. Sorry about that. My apologies to Krypton Comics. I went to 10 comic stores in 6 days, and I'm getting them mixed up. Jetpack will be showing in the next video. This is Krypton Comics, and I teased this last video. Krypton Comics, super great, tons of awesome old stuff, like boxes of like all sorts of Dells and Westerns and stuff, the stuff that we are looking for as classic comic collectors, the old stuff, the obscure stuff. They even had some romance stuff, which I'll show you in a second. Problem for me was the store was very musty. I immediately started having some chest issues as soon as I went in. I stuck it out long enough to go through the romance bin, and then I had to get out the door. So I was only there for about 6 minutes, which is really unfortunate because I could see that they had a ton of great stuff. So I want to emphasize that even though I only got a couple things there and my experience wasn't that great because of my physical limitations, I want to stress that the store looked so cool and it had so much stuff, the old stuff, the good stuff, that I think you guys would find a lot of cool stuff in there. I know that if I had had time to dig around in those boxes, I would have found some really neat old stuff. But unfortunately, I just couldn't stay in the store because of my health issues. So I did find, however, some romance stuff. And not just some romance stuff that's actually from my checklists. As you know, I've been narrowing down my romance collection. I've been focusing on certain things. I'm trying to finish my complete runs of Young Love and Young Romance, the DC versions. I'm also have specific covers I'm looking for, and I'm trying to put together the runs of all the soap operas, like Reach for Happiness. So that's what I'm trying to do. A couple of these I actually found. So we can check this off the quest list. I'll put the quest list up on the board. It's Young Love number 70. and we can check off an issue of Young Love. And this is part of, not only is it an issue of Young Love, which I'm trying to put a complete run together, it's also an issue of an ongoing soap opera, The Life and Loves of Lisa St. Clair. So this is a double whammy. So I'm happy to get this. This is the dad. This is Lisa's dad in the foreground. In the background, "Oh, Lisa, I love you so, but if your father finds out about us," and then she says, "Forget my father, Blake. He'll never know, but he will know because he's right there." And look at this. The guy she's with has the gray temples. He's old enough to be her dad. In fact, he looks like her dad. What's going on here exactly? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I'm excited to get that. And check this out. It is Heartthrobs number 117. 3 girls, their lives, their loves. So I'm getting pretty close to actually having this complete series now. Ran for like 22 issues. I think I'm only missing 5 of them at this point. Yeah, so I'm really happy. You know, it's got some issues. It's got a little bit of a tear here that's caused some damage along those. It was $7. The Young Love is also in low grade. It was only $4. But another one off the checklist for Heartthrobs. So very happy to get that. And finally, you don't see these too often, and when I do see them for reasonable price, I pick them up. It's My Romantic Adventures, and this is number 82. And this seems to be in pretty good shape. One of the issues that I have with a lot of issues of Romantic Adventures is they do tend to be crusty and musty. So a lot of tanning and brittleness. I have a lot of issues of this series that are pretty rough. But I'm keeping them because I love this series and they're hard to find. This was only $10, 1957, issue 82. And it says, "Can there be 2 great romances in a woman's life? Read the startling answer in Love Again, Live Again." And it's not often that you see a single mother on a comic cover. So here she is. There's the daughter there. We can see that the husband is dead. He was in the war. He was in a war. Let's say Korean War. This is 57. Let's say he was in the Korean War. I don't know. And then this guy's going, "You can't live with memories, darling. He's gone, but I love you." So, very pleased with this for $10. I will take these in this condition for that price all day. So, yeah, like I said, this is all I was able to get from Krypton Comics because of my breathing issues and the mustiness in the store. But if they have this for these prices, I can only imagine what kind of cool stuff they have. I know they had a box of Westerns because I very quickly leafed through it just in case it had like a Tim Holt 30 or something. And they had a bunch of cool Westerns and stuff, so they've got the goods. I just wasn't able to spend the amount of time there I needed. And as a result, I didn't get any video insight either. It was very crowded, and even if it wasn't, I just couldn't stay in the store any longer. So unfortunately, I'm not really able to do this one justice, but I strongly recommend going there because I think you could do it justice. So check it out. That's it for this time. Small haul this time, even though I went to 2 stores, but it was good stuff. Good stuff from both stores and from my personal collection, particularly from Krypton Comics. Did not find many romance books on this trip, but I did get a handful, and a lot of them, you see a lot of them right here. So let me know what you think down below. Thanks very much for watching. Next time around, we're going to go to 2 more stores in New Hampshire, one in Dover, one in Rochester. One of those stores, unexpectedly, is going to have a bunch of really cool stuff in it. So I can't wait to show you that next time. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you then.